In the previous episode of Dragon Ball Z, I mentioned that I'd come across a legendary fighter. I'm talking about the 100th Dan, King of Iron Fist tournament, Earthrealm's greatest defender, Jeffrey Prather. Bruce Lee might have a 1-inch punch, but this man has a 1-inch chode. Don't feel bad about laughing at this guy at all. This guy is a genuine nutcase who basically created his own cult and has done some of the most bizarrest things I've ever heard. Get this. He supposedly convinced one of his students to allow him to marry the student's wife. He gave his wife away to Jeffrey. It's a pretty insane rabbit hole, but I won't go over it in this video. I'll leave a link in the description to a channel called McDojOLife who made a pretty good video going over that stuff. None of it is surprising though. I don't know anyone called Jeffrey who isn't a scumbag. So this self-proclaimed martial arts master, what exactly is he capable of? Let's find out, shall we? This video shows you how to take down multiple opponents when you've been restrained. It's absolutely vital that you hold hands with your attackers.
Ha! Gay!
1/4 speed, 1/4 power. Okay, pretty lightly. Okay? And Greg's son's in front.
I don't know how these people can just nonchalantly sit there smiling. They just witnessed a whole group of people being massacred right in front of their eyes. It's sickening. How do they even allow this on YouTube? No, but seriously, what the fuck is this shit? Mormon combat? Mormon! This type of style makes use for those of you packing some hard wood.
Take him back, out of reach. Go ahead, bring him around. Just out of reach. Come around. Boom. 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 Kick. Boom.
It's funny because you know you created this thinking, oh, you guys use bow staffs in your school? Those tiny toothpicks? Ha! In my class we teach people how to fight with whole ass logs. Imagine walking into the wrong neighborhood and you're like, oh darn it, the one day I get mugged and I forget my tree. I want to know how he even explained this class to his students. I imagine him the day before, he's like, guys, remember for tomorrow's class we'll be going over wood release taijutsu. Don't forget to bring your telephone poles. This man confused martial arts with performing arts because he's really showing off his improvisational skills. 100% making this shit up as he goes along. I mean, these techniques are very effective if you're fighting a fucking mannequin. Like, none of these people ever move. They just sit there taking the pounding. Like those JAVs that I don't watch. So what do you do in those instances when you've forgotten your tree trunk? Well, he's got you covered in this video by showing you how to throw spikes right through someone's skull. This might sound controversial, but if you're not carrying around your log or you're throwing spikes, you kind of deserve to be killed by a guy with a samurai sword, just for being so unprepared for such a common everyday scenario.
Step back. Step out.
Real useful to know when you're playing darts at your local pub with your mates. I think you might have missed all your throws. He's already moved out of the way. What is the point of even having him there with a sword if you don't even need him? Man's been told to move side to side like a fucking space invader. Oh, a hostage situation? If I was this lady, I'd be more afraid of being hurt by Jeffrey more than anything. I'd be asking my kidnapper to save me, like instant Stockholm syndrome. Let's see how tactfully Jeffrey deals with this delicate scenario.
So I would be stepping in and shutoing past here. That does two things. It takes the knife off her and it also numbs Jaken here. The next thing is shutoing down here to the knife and bending it to Takiori. So he doesn't really have control of the knife there at all. Next thing is keeping the shutos there is raising the elbow where there's no control here, stepping around, stepping in between her and pushing her away, This guy was messing up the situation like that time Dan Bilzerian was trying to get a gun so he can engage with an active shooter. What an absolute clown. I honestly don't know how you could spend all this time training and still be this shit at fighting. You would have gotten more out of Wii Sports than paying for lessons from this guy. There are countless videos of him online, so I'm wondering how can someone lack this much self-awareness that they make these videos and then post them online expecting people to actually be impressed. Anyways, maybe I'll make a McDojos part 3 video. Peace.
Oompa, loompa, doopa-dee-dee. If you are wise, you'll listen to me.